Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. If you are new in this place, I happen to be Dr. Gaurav Deka and I happen to be a money and business coach. I help life coaches make money in their business. And I run a lifetime money and business coaching program called ATEPS, Abundance Tapping Expansion Practice Series. And I decided to do a video today on something that I'm going to explore in one of my upcoming masterclasses. So more on that later. But the topic of today's video is simple and yet, so to say, you can call it controversial, but it's not, to be honest. Okay. So before I begin, I just want to let you know that I have a blocked nose right now. So my speech might be altered or I might be blowing my nose, which is absolutely fine. So I just would like to apologize for taking breaks in between. Anyway, so I made a couple of notes as well. And the topic that I wanted to explore is how I use my sexual energy to create my business, to run my business, to make money in my business. And when I say sexual energy is not just limited to me. Sexual energy is available to anyone and everyone, including animals out there in the world. And the moment when we talk about sex, sexuality, sexual expression, sexual energy, immediately there is a tightening in the body, or there is a cringing that happens, or people immediately feel some sort of wall going up because the self judgment, the internal criticism, the shame, or the guilt, or some kind of heavy energy that comes in between, right? Because right from childhood, we have been taught and programmed to notice or experience or visualize or understand or observe sexual energy as something that we should avoid. Sex is something that we should not talk about. It's taboo. It is not to be spoken out in public. But then those are just conditions of society that we have grown up in, right? It's just because we as humans arose into a society, we grew up into a civilization, we have had different forms of cultures and customs passed down to us, and some of that is just meant to program you into believing that this is a part of you that is not right, right? Even some forms of religion or spirituality might just condemn it, right? Which is fine. Here, when we are talking about sexuality or sexual energy, what we are basically talking about is the fundamental energy of human existence. So I have this idea and concept that we live in a desire based, we live in a seduction based universe. So everywhere there is desire, there is seduction, right? Because everyone is moving towards their desire. You have desire, I have desire, right? Desire for love, desire for money, desire for being with someone in the relationship, desire for body. We all have desires. And therefore, when we talk about the law of attraction, even before the law of attraction comes in, what I'm attracting, right? I would have to desire something. So if I'm unconsciously attracting something, clearly I'm thinking about that, thinking about that, thinking about that, and therefore that is getting manifested in my reality more and more and more and more. However, when I am doing conscious attraction, I'm consciously thinking about the thoughts that I want to think, the feelings that I want to feel, acting and moving towards that thing, right? To one that result, to one that um, goal, I will have to desire. Desire is the seat of human existence. Just love is not enough. Like you are a product of desire. I'm a product of desire, right? There are desire between two individuals that bring the two individuals together, right? Then there is conjunction, there is union, there is sex that happens between those two individuals and people are born, right? So isn't desire the seat of human existence? Isn't it the fundamental seed from where everything is emerging, right? And we're constantly, every single day, as we wake up in the morning, as we move about our day, as we go into our businesses, as we chase success, as we try to bring in money into our business, as we pursue a relationship, as we think of going abroad and settling down, as we imagine having a house of our own, we are constantly desiring. So human beings are desirous beings, and we live in a desire-based universe. At least this universe, planet Earth, is full of desire. And because there is desire, right? Because there is desire, therefore there is karma, right? Because there is desire, therefore there is karma, right? We are constantly creating loops of energy by thinking about it, by feeling about it, by emoting around it, by acting around it. And that is creating karma. Karma is neither positive nor negative. Karma is simply energy that follows every single thought and feeling and actions of us, like, which is why I call karma as postponed energy. Now, having debunked the myth of sexual energy happens to be the primal, fundamental seed energy of all human existence, and it resides in the sacral chakra, right? The sacral chakra is the second chakra from down below, which is the root chakra, then sacral, then solar, then there is heart, then there is throat, then there is third eye, then there is crown chakra. So usually when we are trying to manifest something, we are trying to bring something in our reality, we are using the crown chakra, then we are using third eye, and we are using the throat chakra, right? We are using thoughts, right? We are thinking in that direction. We are broadcasting our thoughts in that direction, whatever we want. For example, if I want to manifest like 25 lakhs, I'm beginning to think that I have 25 lakhs, I have 25 lakhs, I have 25 lakhs. Then I'm using my third eye. Probably I'm seeing the image of my bank. Like when I log into my bank on my phone, maybe I'm seeing the image of my app, and 25 lakhs is like flashing there, flashing there, flashing there, right? And then the other thing that I'm doing is I'm probably affirming like money, 25 lakhs comes to me this month easily, quickly, effortlessly. I might be chanting. So I'm using the throat chakra, the third eye chakra, the crown chakra, all of that, which is absolutely fine. It's a very potent way of manifesting because it takes you at the action level. However, when we are using the sacral chakra, the second chakra from down below, when we are using the sacral chakra to manifest something, we may not be using a lot of thoughts, a lot of visualization, and a lot of speaking. Those can be in conjunct. They might be there, but they are not the fundamental axis from where the manifestation is emerging, right? When we are manifesting from the sacral, we are usually tuning into the energy that is present in the sacral. So the sacral chakra is often associated with the water element, right? The sacral chakra is also associated, a lot of people don't know it, the sacral chakra is also associated with the ninth Mahavidya, who happens to be Matangi, right? She is someone who transmutates and brings in intuition and wisdom, something that is not written in the scripture. Maybe she's bringing in the spoken word, right? She's also the Devi of Mohini. She's also the Devi of Vashikaran. She's also the Devi of seduction, right? There's like a beautiful story around Mamatangi where I'm not going into the story right now, but then the crux of the story is Mamatangi is also someone who, in her Chandalini Swarup, also seduces Shiva. So if she can seduce Shiva, right, and she's the divine governor, right, she's a dominatrix of the sacral chakra, then using that can anything in this universe can be seduced. Like all Tino Lok, all three loks can be seduced, right? So when we are trying to manifest through the sacral chakra, which is the chakra of the ninth Mahavidya, we are working majorly through the energy of sexual energy, right? How I use my sexual energy in terms of running my business, creating my business, innovating in my business is, for the longest time, I was made to feel really ashamed and bad and guilty around my sexuality. And I think that is the truth with many people, women, queer people, right? We are made to feel guilty about it. We are criticized for who we are, for our desires. We can't even express them. And you feel more and more guilty. You feel more and more shame. You feel this is not allowed by society. I am wrong. I am abnormal. All of those things. So what happens is the sacral automatically shuts down. It's something that we block out and we throw away. It's like you lock it and you throw the key into the ocean, That's what most of us have felt around our sacral, around expression of our sexuality, sexualism, sexual expression, right? Which is why we find it so difficult to talk about it. We find it so difficult to even write about it. We find it so difficult. Let's say I'm doing an open video right now here on YouTube, and many people are going to watch it. Imagine how I would have been feeling if I was like 20 years back doing this video. I could never. I could never, because it would fill me with so much of shame. I would not just be nervous, maybe I would be palpitating, right? So, this is what we have been programmed to associate when it comes to sexual energy or sexuality. However, as time passed, I realized that, everything that you think, everything that you have been shamed for is exactly what your superpower is. So if I was shamed for my sexual expression, sexuality, sexual energy, my desire, that became my superpower, right? And I use this energy. Like, I often visualize, I stand below a yellow bulb, like you can see a yellow light there. I often stand below a yellow bulb, or I stand below the sun, and I let all of that golden light pull into my body. And then I move it to my pelvis. And the pelvis is also the seat of birth, of germination. You see, irrespective of whether you're a man or a woman, we all have a womb. Every single human being has a womb, right? And the womb is the seat of creation. Not only it gives birth to children, like physical child, it is also the birth of everything. From there, it emerges and comes to your throat, and comes to your third eye, comes to your crown, and from there, probably you are communicating it. Like, for example, I'm talking right now, but all the ideas that are emerging are from my sacral, moving on to my throat, right? The throat is also governed by Mamatangi, by the way, and Ma Chinnamasta, she's the other one. I'll probably do another video on that. And then it moves on to your third eye, and then moves to your crown, and that is when you express an idea out in the world. However, the emerging is in the sacral, because that is where the germination is happening, right? So I stand below a yellow light, or maybe the sun, and what happens is I let all of that light pool into my body, moving into my pelvis. And in my pelvis, I feel this energy pulsating all around me, pulsating all around me through my pelvis. And often I use words, in my mind. I use affirmations. I use deliberate thoughts, like people are addicted to my energy. People are addicted to my energy. People are addicted to my energy. So people are willing to pay me for my energy. It doesn't matter what frequency I'm vibrating, and people are constantly responding to my vibration, and they want this vibration, and they want to pay me for this vibration. So what happens is, the more I believe from a sacral point of view, the less I'm using my third eye, the less I'm using my brain, the less I'm thinking that, oh, why would people want to pay me? But I have not made this product, but this offer needs to have this much amount of value. Maybe I have to teach them this modality, that modality, this method. So my technical and analytical brain does not get in the way when I'm functioning from that energy, and I'm constantly feeling that golden light pulling into my pelvis, and I'm constantly instructing the energy in the pelvis. The people are addicted to my energy. People are constantly responding to my energy. It doesn't matter what frequency I'm vibrating in. People want this frequency, want this vibration, and they want to pay me for this. So what happens is, I'm constantly affirming from this energy in my sacral, which is a very attractive, it's a very magnetic, a very raw, a very seductive energy, right? And and it has taken me years to actually, really, really practice that. Even when I'm writing my content, I'm writing my content from, even on Instagram, when I'm writing my content, I'm writing my content from the sacral, right? Like, if I really believe people are addicted to my energy, if I really believe people simply want to be in my presence, if I really believe that people just want to watch me, see me, consume me, be in my energy, be in my ambit, right? They feel immediately opened in my energy. What would I write? How would I write? What is the energy that I would bring in my content? I always ask myself these questions, right? And therefore, what happens is, all the information and all the downloads that I get to write, to speak, just like I'm doing this video right now, is from the sacral. It is effortless. Remember, the sacral is governed by the water energy. So everything starts flowing like water. That's number one. And number two is, sacral is also governed by the ninth Mahavidya, who is Mamatangi, and she is the goddess of the spoken word. Everything that comes to you in the form of intuition, channeling, download, subconscious, right? Everything that is seductive, attractive, magnetic. She is the divine dominatrix of that, right? So that's number one. Number two is this is something that I'm going to teach in my upcoming masterclass of how to transmutate any energy into money energy using your sacral. So because I believe my sacral to be this pulsating field of frequency and vibration of sexual energy all around me, and it's highly magnetic and highly wild and seductive. I tell myself that it doesn't matter what energy people are sending towards me, whether they're sending me gossip or they're sending me good energy or they're sending me bad energy. For example, anyone who would be watching this video right now, it doesn't matter what you are feeling about me. Whether by watching this you are feeling cringed out, or whether you're feeling exhilarated, or you feel appreciation, or you feel gratitude, or you feel bad, or you feel jealousy, or you feel envy, all of that energy is being directed towards me consciously or unconsciously, especially also on like Instagram or someone watching my story or watching my reels. They're sending me energy whether they like it or not. And what my sacral field does is it transmutates all that energy into money, because everything is energy in this universe, right? And I constantly believe that everything around me is transmutable, right? And when people are talking about me, they're sending me energy, they're sending me positive vibes and negative vibes, they're sending me evil eye, they're sending me nazar, they're sending me good energy, they're sending me black magic, whatever that is, right? I have the capacity to transmute all of that into money. Because again, sacral is the water element, and water can just dilute everything. It can transmute everything. It can turn anything into anything that I desire, right? So when I come from that kind of energy, like it's a spinning field of energy around my sacrum, right? And anything that enters, criticism, bad energy, good energy, immediately turns to money. Again, this has taken me a lot of practice, years and years of practice, because your judgmental mind comes in the way, your mind comes in the way, like, how is that possible? Like, what nonsense is it talking about? How can I change bad energy into money? But when you stop using these and you drop down into your sacral, right, there everything is possible, because everything is devoid of logic. Sacral is devoid of logic. Sacral doesn't have logic. This has logic. Throat has logic. Third eye has logic. Crown has logic. Even heart has some amount of logic, but sacral has no logic, right? So you can basically transmute it anything, right? And the lastly, what I want to say is I do a lot in my business. Like, I am posting videos, I am posting Instagram stories, I'm writing on Instagram, I'm doing a lot of marketing, I'm writing emails. And a lot of people tell me, Gaurav, how do you create this discipline to do so much? And the answer is I don't. Because everything in my business is desire driven. Even my discipline is driven by my desire. So if I want to do something, I will do. For example, currently I was running a program called Mohini, the power of being magnetic in your business. You can still sign up for it, by the way, by going to my Instagram. And I did a lot of marketing around it. Right, I did a lot of master classes. I created a lot of lead magnets, and then I did a lot of webinars and lots of Instagram lives. Even when I was having fever, I did. And people were like, how can you do so many things? And I said that that's because I'm constantly, functioning from my sacral, functioning from my second chakra, and not from here. I don't think, what should I do? Should I post this reel? Should I not post this reel? Should I write this way? Should I write that way? Should I make the Canva design good enough? Should I create a beautiful landing page? None of that. Because let's go back to the first fundamental pillar of how I use my sacral energy, right? Sexual energy. I said people are addicted to my energy. People are constantly responding to my energy. It doesn't matter how I show up. People are constantly responding to that energy and they want it. So when I come from that energy, then the creation is effortless, right? Because at the heart of everything, creation is effortless. Two human beings come together, they express their desire, they express their love, they express their primal instincts and feelings, even lust towards each other, which just comes naturally out of them because it's naturally present. And then there is union, right? There is fusion, and maybe there's a child also that might be born out of it, right? Or maybe not. But then the desire moves people in the direction of the desire in a way that is very easy. It's so easy to express desire. Every single human being doesn't have to learn how to express sexuality, feel attracted to another human being, or have sex, right? They don't have to learn it from a book. It's just inherently present. What if you could take all that energy and channel into your business in a way where you did not have to use a lot of willpower and discipline and like let's do it kind of energy, but rather letting that energy guide you in your business. Like I get up in the morning and I'm super excited. I feel this super high of sexual energy all around me, and I'm constantly following that energy. Like, what email do I want to write? Like, what post I want to write? How do I want to show up? What video I want to do? For example, I have a meeting in the next 10 minutes, and I had like 30 minutes to do this video. And I told myself that no, I don't have to worry. I don't have to worry whether or not I will be perfect in this video or not. I am functioning from my sacral. No matter how I do this video, people are going to love it, respond to it, want its energy, want to consume it again and again and again, right? And this is going to add a lot of value. Right, this is the fourth one where I believe that when I function from my sexual energy, from my sacral, it adds enormous amount of value. Rather than going into the analysis paralysis of, should I post this video? I just have 30 minutes. Maybe I will not come across as eloquent. Maybe my vocabulary will suck. I need a script in front of me to talk. Maybe I should talk in a better way when I have more time, right? None of that. I just eliminate all of that and I function from the sacral that no, I'm just going to go out there and, cause this immense influx of energy through this video to everyone that is watching out there. Like, this is how I do so much. I create so much. I produce so much in my business. And as a result, I create a lot of value, and I get a lot of clients, and I make a lot of money, right? So I'm going to teach how to function from your sacral, use your sexual energy in a new masterclass called We Live in a Seduction-Based Universe. So if you are watching this video before August 7th, 2025, because I know that this video is going to be on YouTube for years and years and years, and maybe you would find it later, and maybe you will find the class in a recorded format. Fine, no problem. But if you are watching it right now before 7th of August, do sign up at the link that I'm putting out in the description box. You can also go to my Instagram, which is at Dr. Gaurav Deka, DrGauravDeka. And you can also sign up at the link in my bio. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel and also follow me. I will see you soon then. Bye-bye. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, by the way, do leave me a comment. I'll see you soon.